Hello and welcome back to the channel today. It's actually nice to be back out in the countryside, enjoying the nice weather and just, taking photographs. So I think this is probably my first shoot in say 12 weeks, 13 weeks, something like that. The last time I was physically out with the camera was around about the beginning of March, when we was having all those big storms. I think it was around about the time Storm Dennis was out and I was over in New Brighton. I didn't record a vlog that day because the wind was just terrible, and I couldn't keep, I was trying to record. I was trying to keep all the three things at once. I was trying to stop the tripod for the camera. I was trying to stop the tripod for the camera falling over, and also the tripod for the video as well. So it was like, it was like a juggling act, and it was just, ridiculously dangerous to do any kind of filming on that. It was hard enough trying to take photographs on that day without actually, doing some vlogging. So that was probably my last time out. This first shot here, I've got it set up here, and there's a little bit of a path in the grass here that I presume it's a sort of a makeshift path that people use to get up to the paths that have come along. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use this path, this furrow in the grass, as a bit of a leading line up to the tree in front of me. And as you can see here, as you can see, it's a fantastic shaped tree. It's almost like a balloon shape, which I didn't see that shape until I came round this way. I was over there checking some compositions first, and I didn't realise that tree was that shape. So it's a fantastically shaped tree, and it really does lend itself to where it is at the moment, with the relation to this path. So basically what I've done is obviously use this path as a leading line. I'm sort of setting up the tree on the top third as basically trying to keep that on the top half, and then have the path and the bottom half leading into the tree, so it sort of leads you in. I'm not too sure how well this path is going to show up, but I can see quite a significant difference in between the grasses. But obviously on a different exposure camera you might not be able to see it so well. So what I can always do is I can always try and bump up the front part in post-processing to see if we can accentuate the front of the image, the front of that. So, the front of the image, to see if we can get more of an accentuated path. We've got some really nice fluffy clouds. It reminds me of the beginning of The Simpsons when it starts up. But so there's some absolutely fantastic clouds at the moment showing up behind the tree. So what I've done for this shot is that I've got it on around about f11, because obviously that's a good sweet spot for this lens and this camera. I have actually got my 25mm f1.8 lens on, which is basically the equivalent of the 50mm Pro to lens that you would have on other cameras. You work out the focal length of a micro four forward lens by basically doubling it. So a 25mm lens will be equivalent to a 50mm lens of a full frame equivalent camera. And this lens was a real bargain. I got it really cheap. I think it was about £150 at the time. And it's a lens that I use quite a lot. It's a lens that I use for probably most of my street photography. It allows me to just pop it on the camera. So I've got a small camera, a small lens, and basically I just take one camera, one lens, and go off and do the street photography. But also it does work well in essentially a landscape, because it's a set focal length, so you don't have to worry about, you know, zooming in and out. And just essentially, if I need to zoom, I'll just go forward or backwards. But it's got, for such a cheap lens, it does create some really nice images, and it's a lens that I love using, and it's a lens that very rarely leaves my camera. So what I'm going to do for this shot is, obviously I've got it set on around about f11, and I'm going to pop on a I've got my Nissi M75 filter system set on the camera today. I've got the polarizer spun round to accentuate a bit of blueness in the sky. It is creating a bit of nice depth in the sky and a bit of blueness. And I'm going to pop on one of my graduated filters. This is a 0.9 ND8, I think it is. Yeah, so it's a 0.9 medium edge ND filter. And these are actually 75 by 100 mils, so it works perfectly on these the smaller micro four third lenses. And it's a system that it was quite expensive for what I'm used to. In grand scheme of things, it wasn't an expensive set of kits compared to some of the other filter systems. And it's a filter system that I quite enjoy because it fits my camera perfectly. When I was looking for a set of filters, the vast majority of filters out there are the big 100mm filters that are far too big for these systems, so they don't really it's very difficult to get that point between, you know, the dark and the light, so to speak. So with the bigger filters on this lens, because the lenses are so small, I think this lens has got like I think it's like 46mm adapter on it. So as you can imagine, probably some of the lenses on the bigger cameras are 58s up to, you know, 86mm and things like that. So having a full frame filter on a smaller camera like that just wasn't working for me. I'm sure there's people out there that would that could probably get them to work, but for me, this system works for me. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert where it comes to filters, especially graduated filters, and the neutral density filters and graduated filters, because I'll be honest with you, the filters are something that I've never really used a lot. I used to always approach it that I could always fix it later in post, but one of the things I've been trying to do over the last, say, 12-18 months is to try and get better at making an imaging shot. So yeah, so I'm going to use the filter. I've got the polarizer spin round to accentuate the sky, and what I'll do is I'll work out the shot, and I'll take the shot, and I'll show you that. So that's the shot taken. Hopefully you like the image and enjoyed the image. If you do like it, obviously, if you like it, or there's something that you think that I could do differently or I could improve it, then please, you know, leave a comment down below. I do. So thanks for taking the time to watch my vlog today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great day to just come out and do a little bit of photography and ease myself back into the vlogs. Hopefully I'm going to try and get one out at least once a week. I'm going to try and push myself to get back into a regular routine of recording these vlogs. It's something that I've sort of fell off with work and other priorities in the household. So it is something I'm going to hopefully try and get back into the habit of getting one out once a week. So hopefully if I get that done, I'll see you in a week's time. So I'll see you next time.